Man, this episode was... oh gosh, it was definitely something. And WandaVision was a heartbreaking show. This episode was just as, if not even more heartbreaking than WandaVision as a whole. But yeah, wow. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about, if you didn't already notice, Moon Knight, episode 5. The second to last episode, one episode left, and yeah, it's crazy. But we are going to get into some spoilers. Without spoilers, there's nothing really to say except for it's a great episode, and you should have seen all 5 episodes by now. If not, you're crazy. But yeah, if for some reason you haven't seen those episodes, click away. Spoiler alert, click away, come back. After you've seen it, I'll give you a few more seconds to click away. Now let's dive into some spoilers. Now, yeah, well, let's just start in the beginning, shall we? Because in the beginning, it starts off right where the last episode left off, with Steven and Marc screaming at the hippo lady, who is a, yes, I know it's a goddess, an Egyptian goddess. I don't remember the name, so I'm probably just gonna call her hippo lady the entire episode. But yeah, you know, for those of you who wanted a hippopotamus for Christmas, you got it early. You're welcome. But as they're screaming, all 3 of them, it cuts to back to this asylum. That's what the name of the episode is. So that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm going to be calling this place, with Dr. Harrow and Marc supposedly. So Marc gets up, he's acting all cool about it, picks up a sharp object so he can get ready to stab Harrow. But Harrow sees it and is able to get people to come in and get him before he does anything crazy, and they give him a shot, putting him to sleep. And I've heard theories that maybe that was Jake, because he was all ready to play it off and try to kill Harrow. So, I mean, it's a possibility. It's definitely possible. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it is a possibility. But, yeah, throughout the episode, it does jump back and forth between this asylum and what the main show is going through in the afterlife, because we find out that, yes, Marc and Steven are dead. Kinda. They're in the afterlife, they're doing whatever to make sure their scales are balanced or whatever, to determine where they're going to go. You know, all that fun stuff. So yeah, the scales, the hippo lady grabs their hearts, rips their hearts out of their chest, and it wasn't red, it was actually white. I'm not sure if it's because of, you know, it being Moon Knight, or if it was only so they could keep it PG-13, because I'm not sure if PG-13 could get away with that if it was all red and bloody like it should have been. But yeah, she does that. She puts both their hearts on the scale with the feather, and it won't balance out. It keeps moving and doesn't stop, and the only way to make it stop is for Steven and Marc to go through their memories, and that's pretty much what the episode does. It's all about Marc and Steven going through their memories. And it kind of reminds me of WandaVision once again, because WandaVision, the episode before the finale, we were going through Wanda's memories, and now in the episode before the finale of Moon Knight, we're going through Moon Knight's memories. So that's kind of interesting. That's cool. Kind of cool. But yeah, so one of the first things they go into, because the way their memories are set up, it's like a hallway with a whole bunch of doors, a whole bunch of rooms that lead to different memories. And in these rooms, the first room that they go into, or at least one of the first rooms that they go into, is a room that looks a lot like the asylum, but with a whole bunch of dead bodies sitting in the chairs and all around the room. And Marc explains to Steven that those are all the people he's killed. Everybody he's killed was in that room, but he also explains that he felt bad about it, and he was kind of hoping he would lose and that they would kill him before he killed them, because he didn't want to do it. But that's not what ended up happening, because he's too good, apparently. And he killed them first. I mean, technically, if he really wanted to, couldn't he have just thrown the fight? Instead of if he wanted to lose, but whatever. I don't know. But yeah, Steven sees that there's a kid in there, wondering why the heck there's a child in a room with people he's killed. The kid runs away when Steven tries to talk to him, and he follows after him, and this leads us into one of the most heartbreaking origin stories ever. And I have to say something, I feel like the Disney Plus shows have probably gotten the most heartbreaking with their orange stories, their origin stories. And the reason why I feel that way is because I feel like two of the most emotional origin stories, at least the ones that made me cry the most, were Wanda's and Mark's. And both of those origin stories were explored in TV shows. And I'll tell you something, I was not expecting this from a Disney Plus show. If anything, maybe a movie, not a Disney Plus show, because it's on Disney Plus. I know everything Marvel's on my Disney now, at least all the MCU stuff, but I was not expecting it to get this dark in something owned by Disney, and they did, and it was cool. But pretty much what I'm talking about is his origin story, because in this room we see this family cooking outside, getting ready for supper. It's Mark, his parents, and his little brother. So we do find out that Mark had a brother, and his brother is drawing a fish with one fin, which, just like Gus and Nemo, but mostly Gus. And then Mark and his brother go off to explore the cave, to go tomb raiding, because that's what they like to do in this show. They like to go raid some tombs. And when they leave, Mark actually does say "Laters, Gators," which I thought was funny, because that's what Steven says. "Laters, Gators." But yeah, they go into this cave. They go cave raiding, tomb raiding. But because it starts raining, and even though his brother warns Mark that they were told not to play around in the cave when it's raining, Mark's like, what's the worst that can happen? And they go in anyway. Steven, I guess forgetting it's a memory, because, you can't really change memories, no matter how badly he wanted to. But he goes in after them, trying to save them, but it's too late, and we learn that Mark's brother drowned. Yeah. Told you this episode was heartbreaking, my gosh. But that's not where the heartbreak ends. No, because this episode decided that seeing a child get killed wasn't heartbreaking enough. So they had to continue the heartbreak. Because after this, we find out at the funeral that Mark's mother starts pretty much going insane. It starts off with her being, just that, insane, yelling at her son, start hating Mark, despising Mark, not understanding what an accident is. We learned that she eventually stopped showing up to his birthdays. And then after that she starts getting drunk, and after that she starts getting abusive. But this is where we learn how Steven came to be, because we find out that I guess that Tomb Buster movie is real, I guess, because it sounds like he was a fan of it. And he actually, what he does is, when we see him and his brother going to the cave, he calls himself Dr. Stephen Grant, based on the character in the movie. So then we see, I believe, the first time Stephen ever comes to be, and that is when his mother's about to come in to his room, and that's when Stephen first comes up. And we reveal that the reason why Mark created Stephen was so that way, to be like the happy personality, because that way Steven didn't have any of those heartbreaking memories, and he thought his life was happy, at least for the most part. But that's not even where the heartbreak ends, because heartbreak is coming soon. Because later on the episode, towards the end of the episode, we get some more heartbreak, but we're not there yet, because we're still exploring some memories, where we find out that Mark's mother is no longer alive. She is dead. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, they're gonna explain that one of the first people Mark's killed was his mother, aren't they? But no, it doesn't seem that way. Again, doesn't seem that way. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too dark. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it is. But the next memory we see, after him having practically a mental breakdown, we learned that the day his mother's funeral was held, that's when Mark and Steven's lives started bleeding into each other. Which is kind of where we see most of the episode, kind of, how the episodes have been working, where in the beginning of the show, Mark and Steven's lives were bleeding into each other. But then we move on to another memory later on down the line where Marc is a mercenary, and he learns that he went AWOL when he was part of the military, so him and his buddy became mercenaries. They had to raid a tomb. I don't remember exactly what they had to do, but I'm going to say raid a tomb because I can. But yeah, they go to raid a tomb, they take a bunch of hostages and his partner, and they kill him and his partner kill a bunch of people, including Layla's father. We see Layla's father dead on the ground. But then we zoom in to see that Marc, after this event, has been beaten and bloody, and he's super bloody. He's about to hold the gun up. He holds the gun up to his own chin. But then Khonshu starts talking to him and is able to convince him to commit to Khonshu's goal and become his Moon Knight. And while Steven and Marc are watching this memory, Steven reveals that Khonshu used Marc just to take control of him. But yeah. And then they finally come out of the memories where they're on this boat with the hungry hippo. And she reveals that they are close to the gates to get back to Earth. But they can't go back to Earth because the scales are still unbalanced. And I'm not sure about anyone else, but I've heard that I'm not alone in this. I've seen some other theories and that stuff like that, where well, not theories but predictions, that maybe why the reason why the scale wasn't balanced was because they needed a third heart, that being Jake Lockley's. That ended up not being the case because they just hadn't. Well, we don't know yet. But that ends up not being the case. But it's still not balanced, so these sand zombie creatures, they might have an actual name. I'm calling them sand zombies because I can. But these sand zombies come up on the boat trying to take Marc and Steven down into the underworld, killing them. Well, I guess technically they're already dead, but you know what I mean, taking them down to the underworld. So, but Marc refuses to go easily, so he starts fighting off these monsters, these sand zombies. It's a very unfair fight because he punches right through them, and yet they punch him and it hurts him. So, you know, that's definitely not a fair fight. They almost get him, and then Steven steps in and he starts beating them up too. So Steven finally comes in to fight. And what's cool about this is that this might go into my original theory, assuming the ending doesn't stay permanent, about the show being an origin story for Mr. Knight as well, with him turning into Mr. Knight, we know from the comics. But we also get an ending that might contradict that theory. But yeah, after all this, one of those sand zombies almost gets Marc out of the boat, but Steven comes along and tackles it, getting it away from Marc. But while doing so, him and the sand zombie go overboard, and the boat is still moving. Marc is trying to get the boat to stop. He's yelling, "Stop the boat!" And Steven's trying to catch up, but it doesn't work, and Steven dies. Because the Heartbreak wasn't allowed to stop yet, so we had to see Steven die. I guess technically we don't know if he's... I guess technically he was already dead. And also he froze. And technically him and Marc are both dead. All I know is that if they don't bring if they don't bring Steven back, I'm not going to be happy.
All right, now that our esteemed judge has arrived, we can begin the first round of the Chronopolis Rap Battle Tournament.
No. We're talking about Moon Knight, not that. Nope. Sorry, gotta go. Bye. Yep, don't know who you are. Bye. But yeah, like I was trying to say, who knows if he...
There appears to be some
I wonder if they're going to keep...
occurring inside this tomb. I'm staying well out.
I wonder if they're going to keep Steven dead or not, because I'm not going to lie, during the show, when they explained that Steven was a personality created by Marc, I was like, what if they kill off Steven, making Marc the way he was before Steven was created. Which, I kind of hope they don't keep Steven dead. If they keep Steven dead, I'm not going to be happy. I will cry. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, Steven better come back, because we know Marc's coming back, most likely. Because, well, we need the Midnight Suns. Okay, technically we don't need the Midnight Suns. I just want the Midnight Suns, but you know what I mean. It seems like they're setting that up, so might as well do it. But yeah, back to the show, after I keep getting them mixed up now. After Steven goes overboard, the Balanced Family Scales. And Mark teleports or whatever to paradise, and that's where the episode ends. He looks off, he's in paradise all alone. Boom, credits. I don't know how to feel about this episode, okay? That episode played with my emotions. I didn't like that. Why'd you have to play with my emotions like that? And it wasn't just, here's one heartbreaking scene. It's like, boom, boom, boom. You want your heart back in your chest? Too bad. At least that's what it felt like. It was like, here's the gut punch. I'm gonna rip your heart out now. Now I'm gonna gut punch you with your heart. That's what I felt like this episode did to us. But yeah, the episode was still pretty good. And I enjoyed it. But I feel like there's so much stuff they have to do yet. So much they have to resolve. Like, first of all, we still don't know what's real. Because now it seems like what we saw in the previous episodes was real because they referred to them as memories. I mean, technically there's always a chance that maybe these memories were made up in Mark's mind still. But I think they were real. I think those were real memories. But that still means, what the heck is this asylum with Dr. Harrow? Where is this place? What is this place? And I feel like we don't know yet. But so they have to explain that. They have to bring Mark back to Earth. They have to stop Harrow's evil plan. They have to explain what happened to Layla. They have to bring Steven back to life. Okay, they don't have to bring Steven back to life. But I want them to bring Steven back to life. So I feel like there's just so much they have to do. And they have one episode to do it. And most likely the episode's going to be like 40 to 50 minutes. Maybe an hour. Because we haven't gotten a 2-hour episode yet, even though it feels like they're going to need a 2 or 3-hour episode to finish this show. Especially because it's not going to be like cliffhanger ending, season 2's coming. Because from what we hear, it's going to be a one and done. I mean, technically it could still end in a cliffhanger and be like, to be continued in Midnight Suns the show. Or to be continued in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. I cannot wait. One episode left. I feel like we're finally caught up with the critics, because the critics got to see like the first 4 episodes. So both critics and audiences alike went into episode 5 completely blind, not seeing it for the first time. Now. I don't know what's going on, but I'm excited to see what happens next. Hopefully they can wrap it up in this one episode. It seems like a lot of work, a hard job, but they could probably do it, hopefully. Because I know that's been the biggest complaint about these Marvel shows, is that they haven't done a good job they haven't done a very good job with sticking the landing. I feel like I haven't hated any season finales, but I can understand where they're coming from. But yeah, I don't think I have much else to say besides there was no end credit scene, which was kind of a surprise because the last 2 episodes of every show so far has had an end credit scene. Not this show, so I wonder if the last episode will have an end credit scene or not. I'm very curious now. And yeah, thanks so much for taking the watch. I think that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope you guys liked this video. If you do, please hit like. If you want to see more videos like this, I reviewed every episode of Moon Knight so far, plus WandaVision, Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, Eternals, Venom 2, a bunch of other stuff. It's up there. Go look. I have a playlist for movie reviews and TV reviews. And yeah, so if you want to see any of those, so please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I post, and go live so you never miss out when I post. Because you can definitely expect me to do a finale review, as well as a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness review, because it's in the same week. That's crazy. Whether or not I get the reviews up on time, I don't know. But yeah, super excited to see what happens next. Super excited for Doctor Strange. So please like, subscribe, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Laters Gators.